water. If you need to put off what you're cooking, put off the television, bring your whole self to the course, so that after 2 hours or 1 hour, 30 minutes, you will not say, oh, I just wasted my time. What did I learn? Nothing. I was distracted by Netflix. So let's really bring ourselves here. There will be questions at the end. You have opportunity to ask questions. If you don't have questions, I will have questions for you as facilitator. So please pay attention. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Hello. It's my pleasure again to be here. I'm looking really African. Just coming back from church as well. I hope you all had a time with your maker today. Wow, this is Afrocentric parenting skills course again. The last day of this cohort. We've been here last Saturday, last Sunday, yesterday, and today.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, so I'm glad to have each and every one of you, and I hope you are learning. I hope you are picking up one or two things to add to what you already know. And so today we are looking at issues of our teenagers, navigating through teenage stuff, everything that concerns teenagers. Some of you may say, well, I don't have a teenager. Your child will grow into a teenager soon. And so it's important that everybody is engaged. But before we go into that, I always like to refresh our memory, because there are some people, as Esther just finished now, there are people who may be distracted at one point or the other, and so we always want to refresh our memory. So before I go into that, once more, I want to appreciate Brother Olaleko and Sister Esther and every director and volunteers of Save the Woman, and also my own team, Family Mediation Center. As you are aware, by God's grace, I am the director of family and founder of Family Mediation Center, and I have some teams working with me. By special request, I actually told them that there's no need of joining. I always want them to join on the first days, which is ceremonial. So they are not here with us today. And so yesterday, who will remind us of what we dealt with? What was the topic? Please, somebody should help us. Please raise your hand or just unmute yourself. Just give us what was the topic that we dealt with. I know we refreshed our memory from last Sunday, so it was so much. But at the end of the day, we had a topic we dealt with.
Creating a conducive atmosphere.
Creating a conducive atmosphere for our children. That's awesome. Thank you so very much. Thank you. I can't see your name. Is it Olusoji? I can't see. Yes. Olusoji family. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Yes, creating a conducive atmosphere in our home. And I believe you were blessed because it was enriching. Now, our emphasis is always raise yourself before you can raise your children. Raise yourself. Deal with any demons, any challenges that we have, so that we don't pass them on, so that we create balanced children. We also laid emphasis on establishing emotional connectivity in the home. We looked at boundaries, family values. We looked at all these. But before I go ahead, somebody said something that one of the family values was time management. That is so impressive. I love that. Funny, it's in our pastor today, who happens to be my husband, is a lawyer as well. That was actually what he was talking about. He talked about time management. Most of us are not good with time management, but with this parenting course, we have all been amazing. All of you have been amazing keeping to time. It's important that we pass that on to our children. We don't want our children to, when they are organizing their events tomorrow or in the future, it will be African time. Again, there's no African time. Time belongs to God. So, and God is a timekeeper. So there's none attributed to Africa or English people. Time is time. I love that. I said I must put emphasis on that. Thank you so much for the person who made it your family value. Please, it's very, very commendable. Yeah, so to create that atmosphere and the environment for your children to thrive, to accomplish, to be happy, and to be confident, we said that as a parent, you need to be adaptable. Adaptability is important. That means you are able to adjust to change. This helps you not to get stuck to negativity. It helps you not to get stuck to negativity, because there are a lot of negativity out there. And even in, you can look at your children, all you see is negative things they are doing. We don't want you to get stuck with that, because it leads to name calling. It leads to labeling children. It leads to bullying, because some parents can bully their children. You go out there, you see a child who's a bully. Go back home, there may be somebody who is a bully at home. Maybe the dad is a bully to the mother, or the mother is the one bullying the dad or the children. So the child picks it up. We don't want to train children like that. So your environment, the environment you are creating, should not be the one that harbors bullying. So what happens is that when you are adaptable, maybe you have always known, you're always cursing, you grew up with cursing and all this name calling and all that. If you have been doing that till today, you have to really pray. You have to train yourself to stop and change your word, because your word is important. If you're a Christian here, you know that the Bible said that death and life is in the power of the tongue. So whatever you say is very crucial in the lives of your children. So you have to adapt. From today, adapt your words. Instead of calling your child that name, say good child. You are a blessed child. You are a wonderful child. You are an accomplishing child. You are the best child in this world. And you see the transformation that will be passed on to those children, or that child that you are using positive word. It will begin to reflect in them, because it changes their personality. Because if whatever you call your child here is more at home is more important than whatever they call the child outside. So adaptability, if you want to create a positive, a conducive atmosphere in your home, you need to adapt. Then what we have said, adaptability, but it's your responsibility to now look at your life, look at your family life, and discover other areas you need to adapt what you are doing. We gave an example of feeding food, the kind of food, not to get stuck to our traditional African, Caribbean food or Asian food. We should be able to adapt so that if your children go elsewhere, they can eat comfortably without, we talked about that. We also talked about resilience, and one family says that is adopted it as one of their values. Very important. Resilience. We must create that atmosphere where we are able to handle challenges that come our way. Challenges, to be honest, the impact or effect of challenges on you as an adult depends on your perspective. If you see challenges as that it has come to break you, then you will break down uncontrollably. It can cause mental health. It can cripple you, that you are not able to do things, even to wake up. You don't want to wake up. You want to be under the duvet. And the children are watching. It's not good. It's passed on to children. It's like stress passed on to children. But we have to learn learn to be able to lead our family through difficult situations without breaking them. Like what we see today, especially conflicts between couples. Even those who are not living together, some of them are still arguing. They are still quarreling. Now, how do we manage? How do we get ourselves to that level where we can misunderstand, we can disagree, and agree again, that it doesn't break the children, that the children are not always hearing, fighting, and quarreling over the phone, face to face, no domestic violence. So that is resilience. So building yourself up. You said raise yourself before you raise your children. Build yourself up so that when these challenges come, you can deal with them in an amicable way, in a matured way, without screaming and shouting and putting it upon the children. Gregory, okay, Gregory, you have something to say? Okay.
Pastor, it's actually Cheryl.
Oh, sure. Okay, thank you.
You speak about time management. my mother in particular taught me about time management as a teenager. So, I mean, in Africa, the way that she went about it, I have never been late ever again in my life. So let me just quickly explain. I was always late. So one day I was meant to meet her in town, and then I was half an hour late. I'm not sure how long she waited for me, but she left. So I had to walk about 2 miles to my friend's house to go and get taxi fare in order for me to get home. Ever since, I've never been late in my life. I'd rather be early than late. It worked, but then I think in the UK, I can't exactly do that. So how would you go about teaching a child management without going to those kind of extreme kind of levels?
Okay, thank you. Time management is just a simple, start from the home. If you say we are waking up at a certain time, and when we wake up, yes, you can wake up. Let's say the family says on Saturday, every time everybody we lie in, we don't wake up too early. Okay, let everybody wake up by 8. Now, but after we have woken up, we want to meet as a family. Maybe I'm giving as an example. We want to meet as a family, either to pray or to look at our week by 9. Now you watch, that is 9. So you start by yourself, by 9 you are seated there. If the children, maybe one person is late, you correct them next time. Another person is late, we emphasize it. Remember, our timekeeping is part of our family. So once they begin to get used to that, coming to that meeting by 9, that is how it starts. Now you go to, most of us go to church, some of us here go to mosque. And it says that it starts, the advertised time is 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. You tell the children beforehand. Tell the children, please, can everybody be on mute, please? Unless you are speaking, then you can, if let's say on Sunday you are going to church and your church service is 10.
Unmute yourself.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, if you're let's say you are a church goer or you go to mosque and your time is 10 a.m. in the morning, you let the children know by yesterday that tomorrow our appointment in church with the GP, with whatever, is by 10. The same way they know that school starts when the school starts. Our appointment is so time, and it will take us so minutes. You as an adult may know how long it will take. Maybe it will take 15 minutes. Okay, we are going to leave our house 9:30. Let's give ourselves 30 minutes extra in case there's traffic. And emphasize it early in the morning. If anybody is not awake early, you wake them up and say, remember, we are leaving by 9:30. If you are not ready, sorry, I'm going to leave you. And I'm going to, anything special, you're not going to share with it. Because maybe after church, we are going to McDonald's or something. We are going to miss out. And be emphasizing, once it is that time, yourself, be ready. Enter into the car or be at the door. And if you do it few times, the children get used to it. So it becomes part of their life. As pastors, I'll give an example with myself and my family. My husband is the senior pastor of the church. If we tell you that our church starts 10, my dear, at times it's only me and my children and my husband. We start church service. Now all our members now are used to it. If you have a party, let's say my husband had a book launch 2 weeks ago. We said 2 p.m. I told everybody 2 p.m. They thought we were joking. Some people, when they came, the program was almost gone. By 6, we are rounding up. We don't have time for all that. And so even children in our church are the ones that are even waking their parents and say, look, we are going to be late to church. If you practice it at home, they will grow with it and it becomes part of their lives. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. You're welcome. Okay, that's that. Then we talked about resilience, able to lead your family through difficult times. You know, in a very nice way, not in such a way that you are broken, that the children are also affected. Remember, we are emphasizing best interest of our children. You have had your time when your parents pampered you. it is their children's turn. And why do we need to do this? Because we don't want them to be raised by another person. We don't want any intervention from outside in your home. We don't want the children, somebody neighbor to report that these children will notice this is happening. But there are places where neighbors are the ones that will tell the social workers. There are places is the doctor that can detect. So we want to raise healthy, disciplined, and happy children that nobody can say, this is the reason why we are inviting social services into your family. That not for, if they are coming to help the family, the other side, that is fine. But if it is that is child in need, that is a different matter. I love that. But not child protection. We don't want that. So we also talked about spontaneity, being spontaneous. There are, some of us are rigid. If you don't tell you something, give you 1 week to plan. You cannot wake up and somebody say, look, something needs to happen now. Get ready. I want to see you in 15 minutes time. And we just get there and there. So we must also teach our children like that. If you teach your children that spontaneity, and it is a life skill. It is a life skill that they can learn. Also, we talked about being creative. That's being able to guide your children or adjust your plans and manage your stress. Creativity, being able to adjust your plan in a short time. We must be able to do that because, yes, I'm not going to go deep into that. So we also must learn how to energize and take care of ourselves. We must look after ourselves. We must learn how to take care of ourselves. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your weight. I'm trying to lose some of this fat. So take care of your weight. Take care of your mental health. Because when you are sound, your bodily and spiritually, emotionally, mentally, my dear, the children will have the best parents in the world. But we have seen some parents, the children are the ones managing them because they are like, oh, I don't know when mommy will be in her mood now. I don't know when daddy will be in his mood now. Mood swing. Mood swing. I know some of them come like as a woman because of the periodic thing we go through. But the one that is not periodic, we shouldn't allow it to creep into our lives. Let the children be able to say, this is today, this is how mommy is. So if there is anything wrong, they can pick it up and know that this is not mommy's natural lifestyle. Mommy is tired today, so let's give her a chance to rest. Okay. Also, also coming to that place where we're able to allow our children, or children's opinions, their personalities and ideas, encouraging it in the home for children to exhibit their personalities, not shut them up. Not shut them up. At times, children can be talking, and all we do is stop, you talk too much. No. At times, as I said, when a child becomes talkative at times, it is because they felt neglected or their voice was not listened to. So they want to say everything. We know that at times they're excessive, which you have to curb it. Try and see how you can curb it. So encouraging their opinions and ideas at home. Encouraging them. I remember when we were moving house some time ago. I asked them, I said, okay, especially my last child, I said, okay, what can you plan, can you help me, with the decoration? Give me some ideas. I gave her that responsibility. I listened to her opinion and I married it with mine, with all of them. The other ones brought their ideas, but hers and mine stood out more. I gave her that opportunity, and it's a skill now for her. Also, I said model positive attitudes. Model positive attitudes. Children learn from what you do more than what you say. I laid emphasis about, especially those of us that say we serve God. Let our serving God not be only when we're in church. So however we want them to turn out outside, let's start from home. So that means because when you do that, the result is these children grow up being accommodating and easygoing character. We don't want people who are very unpredictable, who are very difficult. There are some people who are difficult. You can't work with them. They lack people skills. They lack social skills. They don't know how to interact. They can't fit into a place. Such children give trouble in school. Such children, at times, all of us say, oh, the teacher is picking. At times, the teacher is not just picking on a child. There may be something they are seeing. So we don't want to have children who are misfit, societal misfit. Because when they grow up like that, they discover everybody's avoiding them, and either they go into depression or they take it out on society. Anybody that now offends them, they deal with the person. And that's why we see stabbing on the street, because these young people cannot handle themselves. They cannot handle challenges. They cannot handle misunderstandings. So create an atmosphere, help them to be accommodating, accommodate other people's opinion. Some of us are so strong with our opinion, we cannot change it. The only thing that is constant in life is change. Change is always there. So you as a parent, you must be malleable. You must be able to adapt to change, so that the children you raise up will be easygoing people, even when they get married, so that they will be easygoing, not stuck with one rigid principle that does not produce anything positive. Sorry. Okay, create an environment of respect. We also talked about that, because this provides your children with sense of value. Let the environment you create in your home, husband, even if your wife does something wrong, please have a chat with her. Don't say, I'm the boss, I'm the husband, and you did this. And the children are seeing you rebuking their mother like a baby in their presence. You know what you have done? You have told your boys growing up that that's how to talk to girls. Tomorrow we see boys who are oppressing women. We see boys who shut girls up. They don't value and they don't respect girls. No. So we must pass on those positive values, respect. So how do you respect your children? Allow them to share their opinions. Allow them to share their opinions. Now, also, we talked about intentionality. Whatever you are doing for the benefit of your children, do it intentionally. Don't now do it because of what you are teaching now. Oh, I don't want social services to come to my house, so let me do it. No. Do it intentionally for the best interest of your children. I don't want you to go out here with fear in your heart. Just be natural. Show your children love naturally. Be careful with your children. Show them all these things we are telling you. Do it naturally. Have it in mind that it is for the best interest of my children today and their tomorrow. If you have it in mind that way, nobody will ever know. There will be no good reason for anybody to interfere in your family. And we don't want you to live here afraid. Live here empowered, that I know what to do. I'm going to improve what I'm doing, and I'm going to be the best parents I can be, that no government can intervene in my home. That is our plan here. That is what we're here to do, to encourage you to go ahead to do the best. Okay, so I will tell you, learn and emotionally invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, because this will help you to prepare your children for the next stage of their life. They are children with you now. You are telling them what to do. Their characters are developing. Their personalities are developing. But you can help them to hone it, to be social agents, to be able to be sociable, to have the social skills, to go out there. We see Obama, all of us are clapping for Obama. Some of us, I want my children to be like Obama, because he has oratorial skill. He can speak with authority. If he's a child, if he grew up in an environment where he was shut up, I'm telling you, no matter the law he studied, he wouldn't have that kind of ability to do it. So, so we talked about love and kindness. We said that when you do these things, like especially when we talked about family values, automatically it helps you create boundaries. So as a parent, that means you have learned how to say no when it is necessary to your children. You've learned how to say no to them. And now I want to mention something. Work balance parenting. Work balance parenting. Work balance parenting. If you want a conducive atmosphere, there must be a balance between your parenting and your work. And I'm talking of the act of being present. Being present in the lives of your children. Being present, I mean genuinely present. Deliberately and intentionally creating that time to sit with them, look into their eyes one-on-one, and pass on these values. Don't do it only once in a while. Create time, if possible, weekly. Create 1 hour that you will listen to them. You will impact on them. Create that time. So that means you give them undivided attention. Don't let your job take all your energy. I know you want money, but when your children are young, something have to give. Something have to give way. When your children are young, I would recommend you create more time for your children to give them undivided attention. Don't let television bring them up for you. Don't let the school bring them up for you. Don't let anybody else. If you have childminder, don't leave your child early in the morning, 6:30, you have already dropped your child and the child will not see you until 9 p.m. So when have you had an input in your child? Another person, they are observing another person who may not be a great model. They are looking after your children because the money is good, but you don't know what they do in that place, and the child is observing everything. And you don't even listen to anything the child tells you because you are desperate to go to work. The child may be complaining, I don't like that happening there, and you don't even know you don't even have time to listen to what they are telling you, that mommy, where you are taking me to, I don't like how this is done. I don't like, you say, oh no, you just want to be a bad boy now. You need to respect that person. No. So let us learn the act of being present for our children. A lot of couples here, we miss it. A lot of couples here miss it. While husband is going to work in the morning and the wife is waiting at the door to go to night work. As the husband is returning, the wife goes off. They don't really have time to talk together, to blend again because of they are purchasing pounds. Who suffers in the middle? The children. So let's give our children that time. That means we prioritize our children. We prioritize them. When your children are young, to be honest, I feel that if you prioritize your children, you will have the best tomorrow. The money you are pursuing today, that money will come, because when they grow up, well-balanced children, you will see them, they will accomplish much. They will accomplish much. It is good you make the money to look after them, but I think they need your presence more than the money and the food and all those things. So it's very important. Prioritize your children. Apart you couple, if you are couples together, yes, prioritize yourself. Then your children have to be in the equation. I can't say that enough. Okay. So we talked about teach positive behavior, model behavior you expect. Establish a code of conduct. Yes. Establish what? A code of conduct in your home. As I have said it, I think last week, that there are families where children go to school. It is an organized place. Teachers, everything is organized. And immediately the children know that 8:45 we must be on the line. They know that by 9 a.m. is our first lesson. By 9:45, we are going on short break. So they know what they're doing. Teachers discuss it with them. And when they go into any lesson, the teacher will tell them, to their lesson, this is what we are going to learn. This is what we are going to do. And but when they come back home, code of conduct, there's no discipline, no plan. So the children just say, everybody do whatever you like. No time for siesta when they are young. No, because there's nobody to supervise them. Because at times we abandon them and we leave them at home because we are going to work. I don't criticize you for that. It's good, but you must do it in such a way that you also still have, you plan the time for the children, especially when they are very small. Some people just don't get confused. They don't know what to do. Let a child have a code of conduct. There's a word I wanted to use. I can't remember what that word is. Let them have order of doing something. A child should be able to know, okay, time is for my assignment. This time is my quiet time. This time is my reading time. This time is for dinner. This time is for lunch. They should be able, if you draw it up nicely, they will not miss anything in between. Everything will be done. They will still have their time to play. But it will not help those children to be so disciplined. And their time, they'll be very productive with their time. They won't be time wasters. Even when they grow up, it's a life skill. It is a life skill. Start today. Start today if you have not been doing that. Sit down with your children and say, look, from Monday, we are going to plan our time. We are going to plan our time. If you go to school and come back, this is the next thing we do. Maybe first thing you do is you change, or maybe you take your bath, or you have your dinner, then you have a little rest. I will give you just to have a little rest for 1 hour, or you watch TV for 1 hour, whatever you want to do at your spare time. At so time, this is what we're going to do. At so time, we meet together, maybe pray or do something. At so time, everybody should be on the bed. If you're at home, live according to that schedule so that they also get used to it, and you will see order in the family. Communicate well. Communicate well. Both on the phone with people, communicate well. If you know that the person you are going to speak to, you are going to argue, please go look for a place where the children will not hear you. Be a gentlewoman, a gentleman at home. Let them see that gentility in you. If you know that the person that is going to call you is going to lead to argument, look for somewhere they will not hear you. Recognize good behaviors and achievements. These things make the house very, very versatile, very accommodating. We're very welcoming when we recognize good behaviors and achievements. I think yesterday we led them for somebody said that. Recognize good behaviors. Don't brush it apart. Is it not your mate that is doing all that? No. Don't say that. It's discouraging. Your mates have done it before, so what is so special about it? No, that is very discouraging. That child, maybe the child you are talking about was celebrated in their family. So every good achievement, the child is so excited. The school, they have assembly. They call your son and give the son certificate for being the one that answers all the questions in class. And that child, everybody claps for them. And this child is so excited, so happy for that day, coming home knowing that they are going to celebrate me more at home. Only for the child to raise it. He said, please. Is it the first one? I have seen so many of them now. You dampen the spirit of the young child. It dampens, even so the urge to try is killed, is quenched. No, even if it's a second, take that certificate, look at it. Oh my God. So what did you really do? Can you explain a bit? This is really amazing. I wish I'm like you. This is good. Or you can say, you are behaving like me now. This was the way I was. That really boosts the child's morale. And that is an inviting atmosphere. So your child wants to go out and do better than that. So pay those little attention. They deserve it. Children want to, at times you say, why is it that when people come, that's when this child will start trying to. It is their time. It is the nature of children. Take a minute and say, you see this child? She's the best child you can have. She's the happiest child I have had. Come. Yes, this child, you are the best. Okay, you can go up now. Yeah, good girl. God bless you. And the child, but don't say, hey, we have it. Everybody run away. No, please, let children enjoy the environment. When you have friends, it's not the time to mention all the bad things they have been doing. If you have a concern for your child and you want to raise it with the uncle or auntie or whoever that visits, please do it separately, privately with the person. Don't criticize your child in front of the siblings. Please. If a child really does something that is really bad, I would prefer you take that child out, sit down with the child, tell the other ones, just give us a minute. Come and meet me in the kitchen. What happened? This happened, and I'm not happy about it. What happened? The child will explain to you, okay, please, that is not good. Next time, this is how to respond. Next time, this is how to respond. right? I know you're a good boy always. I know you're a good girl. Yeah? Okay. Give me a hug. You give the child a hug. Go back. You will see your children. You see them flourish. You see them listening to you. They will not take you for granted. They will, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. They go to school, everybody will see this child as this child is one of the most vibrant children we have in school. That is what the teachers will be telling you. They'll be calling you to say, your child is the best in class. He's always happy. We have never seen this child sad or fighting or quarrel. This child has no reason to fight because the child is so much loved at home. Is loved at home. Well, okay. Now, there are times when communication becomes difficult. There are times, I don't know, as parents, have you experienced when you want to discuss with your children and it is difficult, no matter how young they are? Please, if you have, let me hear. I don't want to be the only one talking. Can somebody share with us, have you had experience where the communication with your child was so difficult? You've tried to communicate and it is hard. Oh, are we listening? Is everybody
The
here?
floor is open, guys. You have all those challenges.
Yeah, we have about 25 families here.
A lady
Please.
shared yesterday that she used to tell her daughter to leave the water, and the daughter would never want to listen, you know. So that's, please share, Pastor Richard.
Mr. Fikayo, go ahead. Yes. Good afternoon.
You're welcome, Mr. Fikayo.
So I think generally we just it's not necessarily me myself, but I think it's usually tough. My wife and our daughters, especially the grown-up ones, and I think what myself and her realized is just that I think most of the time it might have to do with patience from us, and also we realize that there's somehow as Africans the expectations on firstborn is somehow too high. It's almost like either because they're your first experiment and you've not done a parenting class, you just want them to be 15 years old when they are still 5, and even by the time they are that smart, you still want more. So it gets a little bit, I think it has to do with patience. So we just realized sometimes if you access it really, you haven't been patient enough, you know, and the older they get, their emotions become, you know, more important to them. So yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Fikayo. That's very important. You know, our African approach. It's good to give somebody a nudge, give your children a nudge to be better they can be. But you know, from where we are coming from, I don't know, I think Caribbeans are like that. We want to push our children to excellence. And I think where we are coming from in Africa, yes, we thrive on that. That we are raising a different children that they have almost everything at their beck and beckon. But when we're in Africa, there are so many things we don't have. So that makes us to push them. But they have almost everything. They just need a little nudge, a little encouragement. Their own is not push, but it's just encouragement and directing them to the right path. Investing your time, you know. So it's when you are having such, if it is becoming very difficult to communicate with your child, there are few things you need to do. Hope Eke said, my son who is 14 years old refused not to charge phone beside his bed in the night as he cannot understand why I cannot allow him charge his phone in his room. I can't even try to tell him not to keep phone in his room at night. It's not good for him. How do I get him to understand the risks involved? Well, you know, these children are very smart. They are very computer literate. Now you have to back up what you're telling them with reason, with logic. Now, have you really done your research that charging the phone in his room is bad? Have you found that there's an evidence that charging it? You have to communicate that. then he will understand that, look, this is what I have read, this is what I have seen, that it's there's radiation. There's radiation that come out of it. It can affect you. And it depends on how many, 14 years, you can, this 14-year-old in this UK is like a 21-year-old in Africa. I'm sorry to say this, when it comes to certain things. So they are high up there, knowing more of the issue of all this electronics more than us, because they have learned it in school. Most of us, we learned without practical. We didn't see those equipments, but they have them. So you can ask him, if he said no, ask him why he's saying no. I suggest asking, throw it back to him. Okay, why do you think it is good for your health to charge your phone by your bedside, or when you're talking on the phone, you leave it on the charge? Let him tell you his reason. Then tell him with knowledge. Okay, say it's healthy. Okay, then you can advise if it is healthy. Now, why not show him if there's another place to charge it? Show it to him practically and say, look at it, you have this option. Well, as a mother, I'm concerned. I don't want it to affect you. Yeah, you may say it's healthy, but please, I still will get worried because I have watched some films, some also videos where people were charging their phone and it was blown or it caught fire. And I don't want that to happen to you. So why not do it here, or why not do it here? Nobody will touch your phone. You can have it back. Have a nice discussion. Don't push it. If he refuses, well, you know what? Just leave him and trust God that nothing will happen to him. Yes, so yeah, give him that assurance that nobody will touch his phone. So give him, as soon as he's 14, don't push it too much so that it doesn't become a stronghold. Something that you now go and complain that my mother does not allow me to do anything again. She's on my neck. So have a nice discussion. Re-emphasize it that I'm worried for your health. I don't want to, your brain is very young. I don't want radiation to affect you. And if it doesn't, just leave it, and trust God that he'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's fine. Is there somebody else? Okay. So one of the things, if your children are especially younger ones, and you're experiencing that, please, one of the things I want you to step back is to avoid criticizing them. If you discover that, every time you want to talk to the child refuses, like there's a fight. Don't get to the point when you're arguing with that child. Don't argue with the child. Tell them, this is what, to the best of my Lord, this is good for you, and this is what I would recommend you do. And leave it like that. Don't get into argument or start criticizing them just like that. Just because if you keep doing that, it exacerbates the problem. Because they see it as you are picking on them. You think that they don't know what they are doing. It now impacts on their self-esteem. For you are doing a great job. For them, they are seeing it that, you think you think I don't know what I'm doing. You think inside of their head, they may not tell you that, but this is what is going on. And they start feeling small. Because everything I do in the house, mommy, and that will in fact, before you even open your mouth to talk, the child is already resisting. So there are certain things also we have to just ignore. By God's grace, I'm a praying woman. There are things I don't even waste my time talking about. And because this is going to lead into argument, I will pray. I'll just say, okay, no problem, that's fine. I just go into my room, or I go to somewhere else and just make a simple prayer. Lord, this is not right. I'm not comfortable with this. Lord, take control of this, oh God. Suddenly the child will return back to you. Mommy, what you said is correct. I just saw something now. Do you know something just happened? My 17-year-old came from nowhere and said, Mommy, I have observed something. I said, what did you observe? He said, whatever you tell me to do, if I don't do it, I will feel so inside of my heart, I will be so restless. But if I do it, that it turns out the best. What do you think? I said, because the Bible says, honor your mother and your father, that it may be well with you. So it is working for you, And I felt so good. I don't force her. I don't shout at this baby. I always tell her, okay, now you need to go and put on the dishwasher, load it, and put it on. She's watching all sorts of videos. She likes watching videos of making African hair, natural hair. She will be there watching and watching. Maybe I have gone out and come back. Oh, have you done it? Oh, I'm so sorry, ma. Okay, I will just give me 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. I will just leave it at that. So she got used to that. Mommy is not going to force me because I need to do it. And she'll just wake up and do it herself. So we must avoid getting into argument with these children, because you may finish arguing. You saw it as a parent discussing, telling the child what to do. For them, they are carrying this in their heart, and it's weighing them down. It can affect their mental health and their performance, and the house is no more comfortable. That's why you see some boys, they keep quiet. Before you know it, they start going outside to hang on the street, because they go there, nobody's telling them to stop. They enjoy it more because they say, if I come back, mommy will look for something to say. She will look for something to say. It's better I just stay outside. So please engage them in not argument. Have a constructive engagement. Talk with them, discuss with them, understand always why, what is your reason? Because I have observed young people, not just my children. I discovered that most of them, their IQ is very high. They think about what they are doing. It may not be right in our own opinion, but in their own opinion, they have a good reason. So it's good you always start with their reason. Why are you doing this? Why are you always in the streets? You are outside, you're in the night, you just feel comfortable standing outside? Can you explain to me what is it there? Because at times I don't get it. If the child knows that you are sincere, that you are not saying it because you are angry, that child will open and say, well, because every time I want to play my game, you will say that I'm always on the game for how many hours. So I have to go and stay with my friends. You have won that child. You say, oh, I'm very sorry. Okay, use this thing. I just want you to have time for schoolwork and also have time for your game. Simple discussion, and you get that child back. So we must learn really, really to turn our voices. They don't like when we scream. These children born in this country, they don't like our screaming. They just, because, if you have worked with English people, forget when some people are drink, but a normal English person is quiet. They like things done quietly. They want to live a quiet life. And these are your friends, these are their friends. They want to live like that. We should reduce our coercing, criticizing, and all that. So we must listen to their own perspective. Also, focus on their feelings. Focus on the feeling, not just on the instruction you have given. We grew up on parents focusing on the feeling, on the instruction. I told you that by the time I come back, you must pack the dishwasher. Why did you not do it? And it begins from there. No. Now look at their emotion. Could it be, what is it that occupied them? That's why you throw it back at them. You didn't do the dishwasher. What is going on? What are you doing? So I said, sorry, I have this assignment I did not finish. I just remembered it. And I'll finish it, then I'll go and do the dishes. You have respected their emotion. You did not just think that they were wasting their time. Even when they're playing games, it's no waste of time. It is their recreation. It may be, at times they stretch it, but it is recreation for them. So we must respect their emotion, that whatever word we speak can build them up or can tear them down. The way you correct them, the way you pass your instructions can build your children up, or it can mesmerize their mind up. Bear that in mind. I have lived in Africa. It's like if we have not shouted on the phone on the streets, my children, when they were younger, my phone, when your phone is attached to your car or connected to your car, and I'm driving, People friends are calling me, and I begin to talk like a proper Nigerian. How are you? Where are you? My children are like, they just they hook over their head in the car, so they don't want people to see them. They say, Mommy, please, please, please. Okay, they allow me to finish the discussion. Mommy, that is too loud. Oh my God. Everybody was looking at us. We are so ashamed. I said, okay, I have to learn. Okay, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't even be talking. I shouldn't be answering calls when I'm with them because I can't avoid shouting on the phone. So, so these things can affect their emotion. Let's respect their emotion, whatever we are doing. We are not saying we shouldn't live our own life. But remember, they are our responsibilities. Their best interest first. Their best interest, that is the sacrifice a parent. The sacrifice a parent give to their children is far beyond money and making money for you. It's far beyond that. You can make all the money if the child is mentally ill and depressed. So of what benefit? If the child is taken away from you, who will eat them? Who will spend the money? Who will you spend the money on? So let's respect and focus to ensure that their feelings and their emotions are respected. So we must adjust our approach. Okay. Okay. We're going to go now into module 4. Esther, tell us when we need to go on break. Module 4 is navigating through the teenage issues. Please, if you have a teenager in the house, can you signify by raising your hand? Use the sign. Raise your hand. Okay, Pastor Richard, thank you. Fikayo, thank you. Unfortunately, I don't know how. I can't see every hand. Okay, let me change the grid. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, Akom, thank you. I did. Okay. Oh, I did that. Pastor. Yes, you have a teenager. Fantastic. Ogamaka, thank you. Yes, teenager. And who have children from 10 years? You have children from 10 years. Okay, Fika as well. Gregory, Akuma again. Akum, yeah. Okay, fantastic. Okay, those 10 years are edging towards teenage years. And even if I also want to bring this out, that you can help another person's teenage child. It's not just limited to your child. So how navigating through the teenage issues, that means transiting from childhood to adulthood. Transiting from childhood to adulthood. Before we delve into that, we're going to deal with it in the next segment. I want to find out, are there questions from the what we looked at? We went through our last week, yesterday, creating conducive atmosphere and environment. Is there any questions? Is there something of concern that you want us to look at? Something that is not too personal. We don't want you to share too personal, but something that you really want to understand. Your hands are okay. Ruth, your hand is up. Take it up.
Yeah, sometimes like my hello.
I'm listening, please.
Yeah, sometimes like my 11 years old son. If I want to talk to him to do something, he doesn't go easily. He begins to frown at the thing. Sometimes we just see him crying before he will cry and do the thing. I don't know why. So I'm asking, what's the problem? He won't talk. He will say no problem. But I know there is a problem. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's say if I say go and read your book or go and wash the plates, he will frown. You will know that his content, his face has changed, not the way it was before. I will meet, what is the problem? Is it you cannot wash the plate, or you don't want to read your book? He said, I want to, no problem. What is wrong? No problem.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you, Ruth. Well, that is typical of children. One, I don't know when you started sending him to work in the house. If he has not been doing it for some time before now, yes, it's strange that how come now? I thought mommy is a superwoman. She does everything. How come now she's asking me to do it? I don't understand why I should do it. Yes, Because some children think that mommy can do everything. That's why at times if you don't eat, some of them don't even notice it because they think mommy they don't need to eat. So if he has not been doing it before and you are introducing him, don't be surprised as long as he goes back to do it, and also please always explain to him. And then one more question I want to ask you is he the oldest child, or do you have any other child?
He's the oldest child.
Okay, how old are the other ones?
I got 10, I got 4.
Okay. So when you ask this 11-year-old to go and do the work, what does the 10-year-old do?
Nothing. I just start the 11 years to be doing something. They don't used to do anything before.
Okay, fine. That's fine. What they need to balance it now, because the question in his head is me again. So the other one. Yes. So if you ask this one to work,
yes, that's me.
Okay, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So what you do is, since the 10-year-old that is not used to maybe washing dishes now, ask the 11-year-old to wash dishes. Look for something smaller and tell the 10-year-old, okay, now your brother is going to do the dishes. Can you help mommy go and fold those clothes in my room? So this person does not feel picked on. Why should it be only me? You also will say, and mommy, I'm going to, you know what I'm going to be doing now? Either if you have been walking all along, you say, remember that mommy has been walking, I'm a bit tired, I want to sit down a bit. Or if you are not doing anything, say, while you are doing that, I am going to be cutting okra. So let the child see that everybody is involved, not pick only me to just go and be. So they see it as labor. I'm like, you are giving me labor and everybody's enjoying. So that is why he's doing that. That is why, yeah. One, you're introducing him into it. Secondly, he doesn't understand why it should be him always. Thank you. Yeah, Pastor Richard, thank you.
Auntie, right after Pastor Richard or even before, can we go on a short 5-minute break, please?
Okay, let's reach Pastor Richard. Is it there? Once he finishes, yeah, we can go on break.
Thank you so much, ma.
My pleasure.
My question has been answered, man.
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir, carry go.
Awesome, family. We will go on a short 5-minute break. Okay, let's make it 5. Water break, blue break, do what you need to come back at approximately, wait, someone should help me do the math. I think it's 21, isn't it?
Yeah.
17:21. Thank you so much, family. God bless.
Okay, see you all.
It's like our hearts are intertwined.
Thank you, everyone that's here.
This is why I love.
We're on break now.
This is why I love.
So you can take a break, walk around, drink your water, and then we'll come back. We'll come back by 7:21.
Thank you, sir, for supporting him. In First Chronicles, as I'm beginning to just wind down, because as I was speaking to Ola yesterday, there was very strong sense that there's a need for prayer, and I want to raise some prayer points here. So when we look at 2 Chronicles chapter 20, we're all familiar with the story of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat was a king that is having trouble concerning a city, and he didn't know how to resolve that, but to say, Lord, I am calling a fast and a prayer. Just like here, the Save the Woman is an anchor, it's a platform within RCCG, our Savior Parish. Thank you, sir, for supporting him. The first time I met Ola, 2 years ago, he came for a conference that I was hosting at Oxford University, all the way from Middlesbrough. That is somebody that believes in something and is supported. Grassroots advocates for justice. And so when he cannot solve the problem on his own, and so he's asking everybody, let's do it together. This, Jehoshaphat, in chapter 20, and I'll just review verses and then I'll raise some prayer points. The problem here, the reality of life which we are all facing, is that it came to pass after this also, that the children of Moab and the children of Ammon, and with them other beside the Ammonites, came against Jehoshaphat to battle. There was a war. There was a crisis in the city, and the king didn't have any solution. Didn't know how to go about it, but to say, Lord, the solution is let's pray together. Let's call it fast. That was the reality, what we are facing. Yes, issues about children in the foster care. The society is corrupt. There's crisis in the world. These are realities that we are facing. But we know that we cannot solve it by ourselves, except to say, Lord, you intervene. And so the king, in verse 3, he said, and Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek the face and proclaim a fast. I'm going to fast here because it's a long one. How he's responding, he said, oh Lord God our Father, hath not thou God in heaven, and ruleth not that over all the kingdoms of the hidden, and in their hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand it. I'm also going to read some things here. So the response to the problem is called a fast and a prayer. And as we read this, if you're not very familiar, and I believe we're all very familiar with this, in verse 17, he said, ye shall not need to fight this battle alone. Set yourself, stand ye still, and see the salvation of the Lord with you, all Judah and Jerusalem, all Middlesbrough. You cannot stand, you cannot fight this battle on your own. And it says, fear not, do not be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for the Lord will be with you. And as he was doing this, something happened later on. As part of the response,
Hello, everyone. Let's play. Oh, thank you, Uncle Fikayo. Nice to hear your voice.
Couldn't find thank you by Uncle.
Yes, welcome back. Is everybody here?
Sorry, I don't.
All right, Pastor Chika, are you happy to carry us on up until 5:45, please?
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Well done. I see you really took good advantage of your tea break.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Is that my teacher?
Yes. Yeah, that's the teacher. How are you, baby girl? Or baby boy? Okay, module 4, which is.
You need to unmute.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I was answering the baby. I said, yeah, that's the teacher. Okay, so the module 4, which is the final of this cohort today, is navigating through the teenage issues. This is a time we are looking at this from when children are transiting from childhood to adulthood. When you see a lot of more changes that come into the lives of the children. So this is a time where we start introducing independence gradually to our children. That's how we begin to introduce independence. giving them opportunity to do things, use their brain by themselves, you know, because you have used first year to 12 years. It's a long time for you to impact on your child, both spiritual matters, material matters, giving them at least some life skills that will guide them. If you have not been doing that, you are just pampering your children. That is wrong. From year one, when a child like this mother was saying 10 years, some people start early to give the children responsibility, introducing them with little stuff, so that they just ease in. You take it as if they are climbing up. From picking up little things, tidying up their room, making their bed, tying their shoelace, you keep on going up. Then time comes when your child can comfortably on their own do the dishes without breaking everything. Then you now get to a level where you can begin to give them independence to do certain things. And there are some children, even by 8, by 9, they have a little bit of independence. They can go to school by themselves with their friends. That is really good. But if your child is not doing that, it's time to introduce them. Like when they are going to school, you monitor their journey. So as a parent, I want to ask you, I want to bring it back to you. If your child is between 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and up to 19, what are the challenges you have experienced? Or what do you think are challenges that teenagers generally face, Black teenage children? What are some challenges you have experienced from other children? Or what have you experienced as a person from your other young adults, your teenage children, or preteens? Please share with us briefly. I'm sure we have parents here who want to share with us what are the challenges. Okay, Gregory, yes, thank you.
It's Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl, thank you. That's because Gregory is showing. The other one says, yeah.
For me, it's not a personal experience. It's just a friend of mine was, when she was coming back from work one late evening, was for no reason attacked by a group of teenagers. They started, saying a bunch of racial slurs and everything else. And they attacked her for absolutely no reason. So for me, when that happened to her, whenever I see a group of teens, to be honest, I hold on to my handbag and I'm very cautious. It's because I don't know what to expect. Okay. Yeah. So that's just it for me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So the teenagers have the tendency of either joining bad groups, hanging out on the street, and others. So it's a big challenge, actually. We know it is true. Yes, Cam, please. Yeah, you can unmute yourself, please. Cam.
I have a problem. My daughter likes to go sleep over with friends, but we don't really do that from where we are. And I don't think it's really safe, especially now with COVID and just generally getting girls to be responsible for their body, responsible for their time and setting limits and boundaries. Okay. However, there are several other Black Africans who like to go to the sleepover, but I don't really agree with it. And I don't see the other parents setting this limit and boundary. And it's not stopping the girls from getting raped. They need to know, if you have your own bed in your house, you sleep in that. Why are you going to sleep by somebody else?
Okay, that's a very big one of the challenges as a parent you may experience when you have a teenager or a child stepping into teenage years. They don't have the experiences. One of the things I do, or I encourage parents to do, is when you read some news on those issues. Share it with your children. Give them examples of what you have learned, what you have heard, how children innocently maybe are gone to somewhere, something happened to them. Let them know that that as they are growing up, there's something they call maybe spiking a drink. There's somebody, you know, that normally, oh, we are sharing Coke. You go to visit your friend, somebody who may be eyeing you may spike your drink. Somebody who likes you may tell them, and they have. There's an example we had. My children never did all those sleepovers. If their friends are having birthday, I'll take them there. If the birthday is by 4, I can take you by 3. Play as much as you can play. Once the party is over, I'm coming to pick you. And they grew up like that. So there was this girl who went to sleepover with a friend. And so when they get there, so it's like there's a boy who is not related to this other girl. So that girl knew that this other girl was coming, and he told the girl that, oh, I like that, your friend. He said, okay. So he came as if he came to visit the host brother. So when he came there, just, you know, they started joking and talking. And suddenly he told the sister, oh, go and buy, you and go, you and your brother, please, can you go and buy McDonald's for us while your friend waits? Innocently, that one left. By the time she came back, things have happened to the young girl. It became a big issue. So you give them some examples. Tell them from there, as I always said, the emphasis is their best interest. Their best interest. If you know you don't want it, because some parents allow it. If you study, if you know the one they want to sleep over in their house, if you know who their parents are, if you know that it's a safe home, some people allow it. But if for you it's a no area, you have to let her know from her own perspective, in her best interest, that this is your fear. It's not that I'm stopping you from enjoying your life, but you can still enjoy your life from your home. So because of this fear, this thing has happened. We are in Africa, everybody look out for one another. But here it's not like that. Things may happen and you don't want to break. Girls who have been raped, at times it's very hard for them to recover. They suffer depression, they suffer mental health problem. I don't want you to get to that level. I don't want police involved in your life. That's why you can go visit and tell me when you're coming back home and pick you up. But sleeping over, please, your bed is okay. You can chat with your friend on the phone. Encourage her, talk to her from her perspective. It is for her good, not mommy being bossy. Not that mommy is trying to control you. It's just for your own good. You know, and also there are some people, at times you have gone to that sleepover, you don't know who is there, and something happens, police comes there, everybody that is there will be questioned. You don't want that. So this is a safe haven for you. Stay here. When you grow up, you are responsible. When you go to university, you have all the time. You can, you will be in the university. I won't be there with you. By then, you are responsible. But right now, you are my responsibility. It is my duty to protect you, and that is what I'm doing. This is my duty I'm doing. I believe the child will listen. I don't know if any other parent has idea how you dealt with your own about sleepover. Has any other parent had experience? How did you deal with the sleepover matter? If there's no other person, Pastor Richard or Omotoyo? Omotoyo. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, greetings everyone. I find that my older daughter had that issue a lot because all her friends would have these sleepovers, and then when she went to school the next day, she was left out, and it caused a rift between me. She was going on as if I was ruining her social life because, and at one point, she's older now, but at one point she did actually not come home from school. I was trying to find her and she stayed over at somebody's house. That's how bad it got. Yeah, she doesn't live here now and she's grown. But that was a big issue. My 13-year-old doesn't have that issue, but what she has is I would say addiction to games, the social media, the TikTok and Roblox.
Okay.
So she spends a lot of time sort of, when she's supposed to be studying and stuff like that, I find her on it. And sometimes if I sneak up behind her when she's got exams and stuff, she's on the games when she's supposed to be studying. And just so that annoys me. A lot of the sneaking around to be on the games when she's got homework. She used to read a lot and she doesn't bother reading anymore. She's always playing on the games.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that the issue of sleepover with your grown-up child is well, later on she didn't go further from there. For the one that's stuck, yes.
It was very, very difficult, actually. It was very, very difficult. And I'm a single mom, so I did have to threaten that if she ever did that again, I would pack her off to move to London with her dad, because it's not something I was going to tolerate. Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was about 14 at the time. And she was determined that she wasn't going to miss out. She had to experience a sleepover. And I didn't like and I had nothing against the family, and she wanted to assure me they were safe. I even spoke to the mother, because she put the mother on the phone, but I still didn't want her to have to go to the sleepover. So because of that, she defied me, and she, you know, and I knew where she was. I didn't bother call the police and stuff. I knew that she was there, but it did cause me to give her an ultimatum that really I wasn't going to raise her that way. And if it was me and her were going to have those kind of loggerheads, I would have to send her to a grandmother or a dad or somebody else to raise, because I wasn't going to be living that way.
Yeah,
my heart was broken, and that's not something I want to happen in my day-to-day, where I don't know where my daughter is, and we're fighting. You know, she has to recognize the rules, and they're there to keep her safe. And sometimes there is just no negotiating certain rules. If these are your rules, then they have to know that if they want to live a different way, they need to go and do that somewhere else, even at age 14. It's tough, but if you don't set the boundaries and if they're not firm, these children will take the mick.
Okay. Thank you so very much. That is very important. See, one of the things I'll recommend to avoid this, because what happens is that they feel left out. They feel as if there's something wrong in being different. Let's have a discussion before your children get to this stage. If your children have not gotten to that stage, please say in our family about sleepover. Please, you are my responsibility. I know your friends will push you. There's peer pressure. They will make you feel bad because you didn't do it. But I want you to know that you're a special child. You don't need to do what everybody is doing. That you still have a long time in your life. Time will come, you will go to university. You won't be here with me. You will be by yourself. So there's no need of saying, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. You know, I'm happy you can go and play with your friend, but I wouldn't want you to sleep over. I want you to be in the house and start early to have that discussion. Start early to have that discussion so that they are already used to it. By the time they get to that, they're already used to those push. It doesn't matter to them again. There's nothing that I didn't sleep over doesn't make me less. So because the problem is that if you are not prepared and boom, because there's pressure out there, there's peer pressure. Everybody is doing, all of her friends. Let's say your daughter has 4 friends or 3 friends, they're all doing it. She's the only odd one out. So that's where it causes problem. But if you prepare the child ahead, I think it would prepare them that they will even think about. My children was, I know my mommy and my daddy will not even allow this one, so I don't even go into that discussion. That's what they will say. Oh, sorry, don't even invite me because we don't do it. Because we have discussed it. So you have to be foresighted at times as a parent. So, okay, what could be the next thing this child will come with now? And maybe do your research. Okay, how do we go about it? What is the impact of this? Prepare yourself and prepare them. Pastor Richard, do you want to say something? Okay, I think because your hand is raised for a long time.
No, it was a sign when you asked us for the age of our children.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma.
So, as we said, teenage years is the time they call adolescent period, when young people transit from childhood to adulthood. It is that time when they want to show their personality. So at times what we think is that they're arguing with us. They are resisting instruction. It's just they are trying to show you their personality, that I'm not a pushover. And some of them will just, everything you say, they will say, yes, mom, yes, mom. They're also showing you their personality. Because there are some, any child that have leadership qualities. When the time comes, they want to take initiative. But if you as a mom still want to push your own instructions, it causes conflict in their mind. It's like, so when will I even begin to use my own, be myself and do things by myself? Like, for example, you have been buying trainers for your child. Suddenly 10 years, 9 years, 11 years, you bring a trainer, you're excited, you saw these lovely trainers in the shop and you bring it home. And that is the worst thing the child will see. The child will just look at it and say, is this for me or who? I will not wear that. It's not that they don't appreciate it, it's their personality is coming out. They are trying to tell you who they are, that I have come of age now. If you begin to notice that, it is time to just release them gradually. And say, okay, I want to buy you trainers, but I don't know your test. So I'm going to, can you choose, go online, choose, and let me know, or we'll go to the shop and I'll help you. Put it, leave it. Then if they say, no, mommy, go ahead and buy it, that's fine. So don't see it that they are becoming something that is wrong. No, it is their personality. This is the time they want to show their personality. So you have to acknowledge that and you have to encourage it because it shows leadership. Because there are other people who don't have leadership skills. They can function under other people. You know what we are trying to do here is looking beyond when your child, the childhood stage. They are growing into people who will be leaders tomorrow. This is when you discover the qualities of your children. So their personality will show you whether they will be leaders, whether they will be, your child will be good at serving under somebody, yet they will fulfill their dream. Whether they will be academic, whether they will be more practical. This is the time. So yes, you can give them budgets to ask them to go about. You begin to give them that independence, giving them budgets. Okay, I want to go to shop to buy groceries. But I have 30 pounds in my hand. Can you buy it in order of priority? What do you think our family will need most? Let them draw it up and show you. And when you do it, please, those ones that ticked as the priority, buy them first. Buy them first because it shows them that, yes, I made a decision and mommy listened because they have been listening to you. Time is coming. Remember, there will be a reversal when they'll start advising you. They'll become your advisors. Then when you grow old, most times they'll start making decisions for you. It's starting now. So, okay. It says, somebody says, if their test is more than what you have, how can you resolve that? Oh, what happened? Oh. Sorry, the internet the Zoom went. Okay.
So
what?
This meeting is.
Yeah. Sorry, how do I get this now?
Monday, 5th of June by 4 p.m. Welcome back, Pastor Shika.
Yeah. Was it me that went?
Email it to us individually. Is it possible?
We are emailing it now.
Wow.
You email it shortly.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry, was it my only mind that went off?
Welcome, Pastor Chika. Unmute yourself, man. We lost you there.
Oh.
We lost you. Welcome back.
Oh my God. Thank you. So was it only me that the thing logged off? I'm so sorry. I didn't know what happened. Yeah, so somebody asked a question there that if let me get it. How do I get it? Okay, it says if the test of the child is more than what you have, how can you resolve this? Very important question, very, very crucial question. Yes, right now every child wants to wear a brand. Either it is Puma or it is what do you call all those Nike and all that. And most of those things are very, very expensive. And because their friends are wearing it, they want to wear the same. And if you don't give them, they can become moody. And that's when the teachers begin to say, why is your child not smiling anymore? Why is this child moody? What is going on at home? So the way you do it is, we said it last week, there's nothing wrong. You let your children know what your income is. You may not tell them exactly, but let them know how financially buoyant you are, what you can afford, and what you cannot afford. Once in a while, when you have, maybe there's something you want to buy or you want to pay your rent or mortgage and you know you are struggling, let the children know. Say, look, next week I'm supposed to pay for the mortgage, but the money is not complete. And they say, oh, what happened? You let them know. You have set the pace for them to understand who you are, that there are things I may not be able to give you. So when they do that, you say, look, that's why I love you and I want to give you the best. Well, I can't afford that right now. Unless you will wait, then we will save money together. Then I'll buy it for you. But now I don't have it. And I don't want you to say because my friends have it. Don't wear anything because your friends have it. And also yourself, you should live by example. You shouldn't be the one that Ashebi, everywhere Ashebi goes, you are going. And they see that you are changing your clothes every day. You have a shape, different types. Now you are giving excuse. No, if they see that you are living within your means, I can't afford these ones. Once you talk to them, well, I love that dress, but I can't afford it. That's why I didn't buy it. They already know. So for me, that's what I would say. Start early to have financial discussion with them. So let them know what is important. Brother Ola, you have something to say?
Yeah, I think just to add to what you said, in one of the cohorts we did previously.
Yes.
That one of the conflicts between the parents and the children, because when they go to school, they used to discuss within themselves that, oh, I bought these things. The child will say, how did you get it? I don't have money to buy it. But you have a benefit. So mommy collect benefit, your daddy collect benefit.
Yeah.
So the majority of, there might be a difference that if you collect the benefit, if you don't let them know, buy this one, from there, conflict between the children and the mom. Yeah. Or the father.
Yeah. Okay, that's very important. Also, if it's possible, you can open small accounts when they are young. I'm not talking of the trust account. The trust account is the one they cannot access until when they are 18. You can open another one, child account, where you will give them allowance. Or you can give them the money once in a while. Give your child allowance once in a while. It's okay. I want to give you 10 pounds, so you save it. So they will save it. When they want that shoe, it's okay. How much do you have? How much have you saved out of all the money I've been giving you? And they will tell you, so okay, I'm going to add to it. So you go and buy that shoe that you want. So it's also that has given them a sense of responsibility as well. And also it has helped them to learn budgeting. So we must also discuss budgeting at home. So being open and frank and honest about even your finances, about the work you do. And I'll let them know that, look, I'm doing this job now, I'm earning this. You have the potential to earn higher than me, you know that. You can earn higher than, that's why I don't want you to be on your game every minute. I want you to study hard. I want you to be the best so that tomorrow you will be able to earn more than me. So one thing leads to another. From there, it opens discussion into many areas. So so it is a time when our young mini adults experience different emotional, physical, biological, and psychological changes, emotional and intellectual changes. That is when they develop their logical thought processes. So some of them may start questioning you about your faith. They may start questioning you about your faith. That's why if you are of faith, whether you're a Christian or you're Muslim, you must know your craft. Don't just go to church not knowing why you will go to church, not knowing who God is for yourself. So you must pass on these things so that by the time they get to this teenage, they are not questioning you. A child that was going to church with her parents, now came back one day and told the mom, I don't think I believe in God anymore. The mother was running helter-skelter, calling everybody. I don't know what to say also, because you have not sat down with your children to tell them exactly what you believe in. You just want, Sunday school teacher is telling them everything. There are things Sunday school teacher will tell your children. There are things you need to tell your children yourself. There are things you need to tell them. There are fundamental things you need to listen. Ask them a question about their faith. What do they understand? What do they know? And have they received Jesus in their heart if you're a Christian? So that they are grounded. They will not be deceived. Somebody will not wake up and tell them there's no God. And they forget that nobody wakes them up in the morning. They forget that nobody puts them in your tummy and all that. So have these robust discussions with the children, because when they get that stage, they can defend themselves. So they are developing their logical thought processes. So it's also a period of mood swing, which we parents may misunderstand because of the hormone in their body. 1 minute they may be excited, the other minute they were moody, and maybe when you met them, they are moody, and you don't understand what you have done wrong. You have not done anything wrong. So it's a period you need to understand them. My son will go and lock himself and remain in the room for 3 hours. Even when you, are you all right? He will shout, leave me alone. And I know that nothing has gone. There's nothing wrong. I said, no, I just want to check that you're all right. As long as you're all right, that's fine. When you finish, I have this something for you. Come and take it. Just give him 5 minutes. He'll come out. I'll give you the biggest smile ever. And give him whatever. He's fine. So it is the mood change. It is time that the emotions fluctuate. So as a parent, you need to read their mood. You need to read their mood. Don't think it's the, how do they say it? Something as usual. Things as usual. No. Once your child is approaching teenage, this is when you need to watch their emotions, their reactions, the mood closely. This will help you. I know our time is fast spent. Esther, what are you preparing to do? I didn't even go into this. I'm so sorry. I didn't go into this. Can I just give me a minute? So this period is a period we as parents who must help them to reduce the pressure they face from the environment, pressure to belong, from peer pressure to do what is in vogue. We have to help them. So it is a time where you should be non-judgmental. Your discussion with them should be non-judgmental. Find out from them. Don't just assume and judge whatever they are doing. You are dressing like this because you are no longer a child of God. No. Don't do that. Understand why they are doing that. That means it is a time of negotiating and engaging them in enriching discussions. So it is a time to do that. So you have to listen to whatever they have. Give them quality time. And it is the greatest time of affirmation. Because when they are getting into that is when other boys and the other girls will be noticing them. Now they send text, they send pictures. Some nude pictures, some funny pictures, some funny messages. This is a time where you have to have that word of affirmation. Tell your daughter that you love her with all your life. Tell your son that he is the prime minister in the making. And as a prime minister, you don't mess around. I will also add this. Once a child from 10 years, under the UK law, every child is legally minded. So if any child commits an offense from 10 years, it will be in their record. Educate your boys, educate your daughters. From 10 years, if a child commits an offense, that child, police can take them to their station and caution them. And if it goes beyond that, if let's say a child somehow there's mother involved, God forbid, they will be able to serve in the young children's place. So educate your children now. That they shouldn't, because you see teenagers on the street kind of cajoling the police, cajoling them. The evil people who are selling drugs are using these little children. If these children are found out, if they don't go to prison, it will be in their record. So please have that quality discussion. Affirm your children. Once they are getting into that teenage age, please affirm them. Tell them you are the best. You're a black boy going to happen. You are a shining star. You're a star. Look, I'm not casually. You are. I see something in you. Give them that best praise that you can. And I assure you, our children are going to come out the best. No social services will knock on your door. I pray this in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, Mommy Chica.
Amen. Praise God.
Amen. Big round of applause for Madam Chica. Wow. Isn't it powerful to know that the destinies and the futures of our little ones or our big ones are in our hands?
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
We can shape them with our words. We can shape them with the right affirmations. So I want to say, please look at your chat. I've seen a lot of people have joined already. There is a mini quiz for us because no learning has taken place if we cannot assess it, if we cannot check, oh, you have understood what we have said. So there is a mini quiz. Please log into menti.com. That is Mike, Echo, November, Tango, India.com. That is Charlie, Oscar, Mike. Menti.com and put in your code. Your code is as follows: 444219000. 444219000. I'll encourage everyone. Pastor Chika, join in. You'll be very amazed at what I've created based on your lesson today. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. This is the Q&A session, and we're going to start it up with the quiz. Let me go on there and see who is joining in already, so we can start. Yes, we have a couple of people already on there. Did everybody get the instructions?
I've done mine.
I know all I've already passed it. 100%.
Somebody says that it's not opening.
It's not going to open now until I start it.
Oh.
Only 2 people have come into the waiting room.
I want to say thank you while we are doing the quiz. Thank you to the person that make a donation to our page now. We got our first donation. Thank you so much. It's an anonymous. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. That's so good. This is the final module. Please, you also have your assignment you should have received in your email. Submit it, and then you'll be awarded your certificates. Yes, it's a proper course, yes, to be accredited, but every single point you see the social services, the courts, everybody knows about us, and you refer because our courses have been very useful, very effective. I see that there are people in menti.com, www.menti, like men. Yes, we have one more person just jumped on.
I've just gone through the attendance now.
Okay.
I've seen a great people that made all the 4 modules, but we've got some people that missed either module 2 or 3. If you miss those, I don't want to call names out now. I can see you are smiling. Yeah, you missed some of it. So if you missed it, try as much as possible to send a message. Because of reason is this: we are starting course 201 by maybe 2nd week in June, and the prerequisite, the requirement for 201 is that you must complete 101. Your certificate will be a proof for 201 to do 201. So if you are unable to do that, then you can't. And we've trained over 158 individuals now, so you know. It's first come, first serve for 201. So it's going to be an hot cake. All the 4 modules, 4 cohorts are coming on this course together at the same time. So it's going to be very challenging. So first come, first serve. If you miss any of these main cohorts, get in touch with us so that we can arrange with Pastor Chika, so that we can have a remedial course time within the period of time. So if it's 2, 1, or 3 you miss, let us know. We'll be able to arrange that before we start 201. We want every one of you on this platform to join that first batch of 201. And don't forget, after 201, the last cohort, the last course for this is 301. And we've got many people coming as a facilitator for the 3-1 from Oxford Brook University, from Impact Coalition, and from our Madam Standard. I will not tell you who is Madam Standard until then.
from the lab, I'm sure somebody can guess. So, the name of the site is menti.com. MEN. Okay, she just seen it. Wonderful. We have how many people in the house? We have about 26 of us here. I know all has done his quiz, but please, I want to encourage the participants. If you're having any challenge, kindly let me know. It's important you pass your tests, you do your assignments. Otherwise, how do we know that everything you learned? And of course, you raise wonderful children. Otherwise, how else can we check? How can the assessor assess? Wow, we have about 5 or 6 people joined us right now. That's wonderful. Ola, I don't want to just spend time waiting for those who are still struggling. Should we just start the quiz? It's only 5 questions to take about 1.5 minutes. Ola, should I wait for more people or just start it? We have 6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, just go on the quiz. Just go on the quiz. For the most important thing, don't forget you have to submit your case study report. You have submitted your case study report. I think Pastor Shika has mentioned briefly about that case we chose this time around.
All right.
Those of you, if you remember that, then it's a plus to you. If you forgot that aspect, then you have to crack your brain.
I'm confident. I'm confident that the lessons that we've received here with Pastor Chika's tutelage, we will succeed in the assignments. I'm very confident in our families. Okay, I'm going to start the quiz. If you've entered in, well done. And all the best, okay?
Maximum of 2 weeks after you submit your report.
Sorry, Pastor. Sorry, Pastor Richard.
Is Pastor Adaptability there?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you for joining, sir.
Yes.
I'm here. Thank you as well. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, sir. Well done, man.
Well done. We all got the first answer correct. Ola, are you still there? Okay, no, not.
You have to read it out, Esther.
Oh, so Pastor Chika, you did not join.
I don't know how to join it. I clicked on it and it took me to something else.
It says learning to be spontaneous and creative is a necessary skill as a parent.
Oh, okay.
And then people can answer yes or no. Wait, 1 second. It's just showing the answers right now. It says, what is the best way to build your kids' confidence? There's questions and answers like shouting, yelling, calling names, shaming and labeling, focusing on the instruction, not on their feelings, or being understanding, talking calmly, asking questions, listening to them. Sorry, guys, the questions have already been answered, most of them. Apologies for this. Effective time. Yeah. Effective time, and let me just read the questions out and also read out the answers. Don't worry about putting it in anymore. Effective time management is necessary to avoid chaos and build a conducive home. True or false? You can just shout out there. True, that's correct. We'll do it this way. Yeah, it's better this way. Don't worry about the name. The last question is this. What is the best gift you can give your children? Is it presents and their every whim, or is it a healthy family? A good name. With supportive and understanding parents. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll exit the thing now. Sorry about that. The only one question people could actually put their answers in. We'll get better, I promise. So that's it. Ola, over to you to final announcements and close. Today is the last module. I will not see your
Pastor Shika. Pastor Shika, I want to say something.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Just give me a minute. I must say that please, for us to avoid being misunderstood, misinterpreted, and misrepresented and misjudged, I will encourage you with issue of leaving the children alone. You must know how appropriate, the age appropriate to leave your children alone, when to leave them alone. A child under 12, a child under 12, our sister, please, can you mute yourself, Sister Caroline? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. A child under 12 is not mature enough to be.
Pastor Shika, you need to unmute yourself, please.
Sorry for that. So I was saying that I just want to wrap it up like this. For us to avoid being misunderstood, misjudged, misrepresented, and misinterpreted by civil authority, we must look at issue of leaving the children alone. A child below 12 under the law is considered not to be matured enough to be left alone for a long period of time. So you can leave a child under 12 who is mature, let's say 10, 9, depending on their maturity, but not for a long time. If you leave that child for a long time, a child under 16 left alone overnight, the law can come heavily. So we must take note of that. A child under 16, you cannot leave them and go on holiday 1 week, 2 weeks. So take note of that. The final thing I want to add is, if for any reason the teacher calls you for any meeting regarding your children, or you are engaged with social workers or authorities, please don't answer, don't give any answers that will implicate you. Answer appropriately. The question you are asked, limit it to that. Don't go ahead to tell the background. If they ask you what happened now, tell them what happened now. Don't bring other issues because they can pick holes. So I just wanted to raise these two issues because I know a lot of us are working. When you are leaving your children alone, please, neighbors can report or anything. So be sensitive to the age that's appropriate and your response whenever you are dealing with officials. Don't speak too much. Stick to what you are asked and leave it like that. I want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today. And I pray that we go home to even do better than what we have learned. In Jesus' name.
Amen. A big round of applause.
Before you go, I still have one question for Pastor Shika. Before you go, man.
Okay.
You know, what we don't know, we don't know. For instance, you brought 1 or 2 children to this school, to this country. They came with you, and in the past, maybe you have scolded them, or you've beat them, or you physically chastised when you are not supposed to. But coming to this country, you've never done that before. But in the course of maybe social worker get involved, can they use that previous past, like when you are in Africa, or whenever you are, can they use that one against you when you've not done that yet?
Yes, they can use anything against you. They can, as long as a child makes a disclosure, which is considered as endangering the child's life. It can be used as long as, no matter where, the only defense you have is, myself, I went through that. That was my experience. I have not learned otherwise until I came here. I did it out of ignorance. And also I have witnessed it in my community. So I didn't know otherwise. And that was why I acted in ignorance. But now I have learned my lessons. We must always bring that. I have learned my lessons and I'm not going to do it again. And I am open to training. I am open to learn more about parenting. That's a very healthy answer, and it's a defense in law because that's the experience that you had. You didn't know otherwise. So that is what is involved in that society. And unconsciously you did it. So, but I'm not excusing myself. I have learned better and I'm ashamed of what I have done and I regret it. And I'm ready to make amends. So if unless the authorities dealing with you are already biased, if they have made up their mind that we are going to deal, they know a way of twisting it. But if it is an open, that initial time, that initial contact you have with them, when their mind is still open, if you can make that statement and it is written down, it can go a long way to say, okay, let's give them a chance. We are going to walk along with you. We are going to work with you and see how this will stop. Then they will now watch what you do from that day going on. And they will step back if nothing like that happens again.
Auntie, sorry to interrupt, but I have it. Thank you so much. I want to apologize to everyone who's gone over the time.
Yeah.
But please bear with us because I feel like we haven't even touched everything. That's why I guess we have module 201 and 3, not module 2, course 201 and 301. So do bear with us and make sure that you already registered for all the courses because we cannot totally exhaust everything. But the question I want to ask as well, as I tendered that apology, was that I have a friend and she told me that because she had faced abuse in her own life, I don't know what they've done to her, but she's not allowed to have children. And the one she had, they took immediately from her. I don't know whether the law is that right? Do they have the authority to do that? Because she had gone through abuse herself. They took away. I have 2 people like that actually, white women.
Okay. Well, every case is judged according to its facts. So it will be very hard for me to give a blanket answer. So it depends on whatever that happened. Because if, though generally in law, medical law, if somebody, let's say somebody suffered a temporary mental health issue, deep or psychological issue, and is sectioned, and it is found out that the problem of that person seems to be perennial, it's something that is long term, and she lacks the ability, she lacks the capacity, they will make that decision. Maybe when they took that child, she lacked that capacity. Let's say a young girl who gets so messed up in drugs that she doesn't even know what to do with the child. They have the right. Once they prove what it is, the court will make that decision. And once the court makes that decision, you can't stop it. But if what the person will do, if the person feels that, look, I have now come clean, I think I have learned, I am now prepared, goes through a courses like this and is assessed, the person can go back to court to ask for the child to be returned to him or her.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. For us to say thank you very much, we appreciate you. The main thing is that as a parent, whenever we did something wrong, we should be open up to apologize to our children, to say we are sorry. It shouldn't be difficult for us. And when we did those things, what social worker is coming to say is that it's an emotional, it's a psychological trauma, which is true. So we need to understand that we apologize for what we did because we don't know how they felt. And let's know the impact that those things must have had on the children. That's the main thing they are looking for. Are we able to understand the impact on these children or not? So please, let's take note of that. With that, I would like to say thank you once again. Like I've said, watch out for course 201. We're going to send the link out hopefully this week. And if you miss any of this 101, get in touch with us as soon as possible so that we discuss with Pastor Shika for us to know how best we can arrange for you to have that done before the 201, because we want to have you to have your certificate and for you to enroll on that. If you still need further support, do get in touch with us, as we also offer advocacy support. We advise if you have any safeguarding meeting, any local issue in schools with your social worker, try as much as possible to get support network. Let somebody be there with you. It goes a long way. It goes a long way, like a third party. Oh, can I give 1 minute or 2 minutes to Pastor Adaptability? We appreciate you. If you have anything to say to us as our daddy in the house, feel free in 1 or 2 minutes, sir, before we say, after 30 person for 101 the day here. Pastor Adaptability.
Yeah, as Pastor is preparing to come in, Pastor Dakwa is one of the directors of Family Mediation Center. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining this course. This course is a real. And I want to advise every parent that listening to this course, very, very important to use it Don't just listen or be in the course and don't use it to make better of your children and your family and your future. Because these children are the president and the prime minister of tomorrow. And you can be proud of them.